Hello, YouTube modeling community. This is Rusty Rotor with a mail call, Mental Monday, and the mail call is going to be a product review. You guys have heard, I've told you last week we were getting some stuff in from Ryan Jones at Z-Force Model Works. And, you know, he never ceases to amaze. I get speechless because it's just like, you know, I knew it would be. It's like, you know, I mean, I can't, each time he tops it, you know, the craftsmanship, the design he's got behind a computer is flawless. And we're going to touch base. He doesn't say who these are going to be through. I'd say that's probably something he's going to do. These, I've told you about them before, the Buick Rally. These are 19 by 8s in the front and 20 by 13s in the rear, 1/24 scale. Now, if you were building, I don't think there is a 1/25 scale version of it, but if there was, you could just contact him when you order your wheels and tell him you need it in that scale, or just use the 1/25 scale. They're not that far off at all that you'd really even notice. We're going to get these out. We're going to look at them. There's quite a bit more here too, guys. This video will probably run a little long. I'll try to keep it as short as I can. But you know, anytime we do a review like this, it's worth it. These are on the really cool street tread tires. I love that design. That's one of my favorites. He doesn't have a whole lot of different ones. I think he's got like maybe two different style for street tires, or when it comes to these, maybe 3. I don't know. I can't remember. I have to dig out all the sets and go through them and see what's what. But here's the wheel. Look how accurate that is, to the T. You know, and here's the front. You know, this would get chromed. I'd paint this chrome too, and the backside, just to have it done. Then I'd come back and hand paint all the black. And then, you know, the lug nuts are chrome. So then once you put it together, you'd have that great looking wheel. And we will be using these on the other Buick. I got it sitting right here. This is the other one I have. And you can see that one, that's why I didn't really see that chin spoilers, because it's in yellow. It should be black. But you can see, right here, we'll get it sideways. Good representation. There's the wheels. And then I drop them, of course. Yeah, they're spot on. But now, instead of having to use the big sidewall, the 70s look tires, you know, we can incorporate different style of build to it. And that's, you know, Resto Mod, Pro Mod, or not Pro Mod, but Pro Touring, whatever it may be, and get that look. You know, then when it's in the tire, you know, there's a finished product. Of course, it's not tight, not glued in, but you get a great look. And look, the depth, got that deep wheel well. Nice wide tire. Nothing like looking underneath a car and seeing real wide tires just tucked up underneath there. You know, it's so aggressive looking. It's like, oh, man, I bet you're thinking, yeah, pop a wheelie, or the tire marks that he'd leave when he'd do a burnout. You know, it's just, it's all exciting. And there's the front tire, equally detailed. The tread pattern, the rim itself, you know, 2 pieces also. So you can chrome this and then chrome all that, and then come back in and paint the black by hand using a real tiny paintbrush. Or if you want to get real fiddly and mask everything off, airbrush it. You know, if you're going for that perfect look. I don't chase that part of it too much. I have more fun and enjoyment out of hand painting that than I would trying to mask it all off and airbrush it. Matter of fact, I wouldn't do it. But yeah, that's, you know, I communicated with him. He asked me a bunch of questions about the wheels that were in the kit. You know, I told him, you know, what I knew, what I was aware of, and he designed these and sent us a set. So I'm truly thankful to Ryan for that. These are going to look really good on it. Those are the tires and wheels for that kit. We will go with the original Resto Mod theme for it, with a couple of variances. We will be using the stock engine for that one. We won't be putting an LS in it or anything like that. The interior, we will add some door handles. I'm not so sure about the speakers. Maybe some rear speakers. The rest of it, no. Just as detailed as Shadow is. You know, Shadow's not a highly detailed interior, but we'll add some bells and whistles, you know, where I deem necessary. But, you know, we're going to go for a clean paint job. Resto modded out tires and wheels. And a few little things underneath the hood. Not a whole lot. I want to keep it simple. I think I can get through it really easy. I learned my mistakes with Shadow, the white one. So I know what to look for and what not to let happen. And, you know, slow my rolls a little bit so I can be more aware of them. But those are great. You guys get over there, you know, see Force Model Works. His links are always down in the descriptions as well. He is a sponsor to this channel, just in a different way than what, you know, Mark is. Not taking nothing away from either one of them. They're both superior in my book, but both have a different thing. Guys, you got Buick. I got a Buick Wildcat kit up there too that I've been trying to bounce around some ideas on. Yeah, I'm kind of that square body type guy, you know, the GTXs, the 66, 67 Chevelles, the older Novas, you know, the Chevelle wagons. I'm a true wagon fan. Hot rodded out. Don't want one for a daily driver, but the old school station wagons are really cool. And if anybody knows me in the real world, my #1 favorite station wagon, there's two, but the top one is the 63 Olds F85. I think it's a 62 or 63 Olds F85 wagon by Johan. That is one of my holy grails. I've had plans for that kit for probably 10 years, even before I got back into the modeling community. I've seen a lot. You know, I followed the modeling community. I just wasn't involved in it, and I wasn't building. But I did follow them, so I got to see a lot of other, you know, I call them artists, artist designs and concepts that they put into these cars and how they turned out. And, you know, I've got the wheels, they're constantly spinning. Every time I think about that kit, it starts all down that rabbit hole. Tires and wheels, I kind of have an idea for them. And chances are they're probably going to be the same if I can ever get the kit. That's the thing. I can't afford to buy it. Is the problem. It's just, you know, I kind of, on that particular kit, I'm kind of leaning towards, I don't want one that's already started. Normally, like with the Javelin, that's my #1. I wouldn't care about it being started. I could strip it down, redo it, you know, because that's a full-blown, big, full detail build that would take probably a year to build. The wagon is not. It's that. But these are the tires and wheels I want to put on that wagon. That wide, so I'm going to have to modify in the back, so I know that. And adapt a newer engine in it, and, you know, some custom things in the interior, and mainly the paint to stand out and say, look at me. You know, it's just a dream. Will it ever come to reality? Probably not. Just like I said, because I can't afford to buy the kit. It's just too pricey. Do I need the kit to be whole? No, really, I don't. All I need is the bumpers, front and rear, the glass, the interior tub, the body, and the chassis. I don't need anything else. But I don't want it started. I want fresh plastic. So, enough said about that. We went down a little rabbit hole. Next is a set of dualies. Another set that Ryan's designed. These are going to Joel at Iceman Collections. For Rusty Rotor, these are going to be perfect for the diorama. And I say that because you guys remember one of the little individual things in the diorama is the utilities company. They're working on the road. They're repairing some sewage issues and pipes and stuff like that. And I have to have a truck to put all their tools and equipment in and extra parts and stuff like that. And I was bouncing around. I've got an old fire truck using that, I don't know, 5-ton, 6-ton, 10-ton axle, whatever. I'm not savvy on that stuff, but using that dually axle for that, and I was like, that's really huge. It's not what it would have been back then. A big axle, yeah, probably 1.5-ton axle, 1 ton, somewhere in there. But these are, single axle, dually, like for a pickup truck, and the front tires. These are Bridgestone tires. Now, Ryan did an amazing job at getting that detail in there. It's very prominent. It'd be easy to pick out. The tread pattern, spot on. There we go. Very good looking tire. Nice smooth sidewall. Smooth back here. I mean, you can get creative and mask that off if you want to and make a big fat white wall in there, but for me, the purpose is for the truck that I got scratch built to have for the utility company. And I'll have to have some decals made for the sides of the truck and all that. So any of you guys that really do a lot of decal work and you're really good at it, hit me up, because for that diorama, I'm going to need a lot of decals. I want to get some old vintage signage. I need some decals for some of these vehicles. Street signs, like the names of the streets. The placard for the park. So, there's quite a bit. And I've not gotten to the point where I'm measuring and I know exactly what I want. But, if you guys are a decal guy, just, drop it in the comments and say, hey, Rusty, I do decals. So, if you, whatever you need, hit me up and we'll work it out. That's all I need at this point, because I've not done any measuring, and some of it's going to be spotty. This part I'll need for this to get it done, then I can figure out what I need for the other section, blah, blah. But the gas station, I'm revamping. I'm not going to use some of the kid decals, but not the signage. I want to change the name of the gas station and all that. So more on that to come. But these are great. I mean, and there's a full set. These are going to be exclusive through Iceland. These would be a great addition to any kit. Even the Mobius 67 F350 ramp truck. These would be a great addition to that because of the detail. The kit tires in that are really badass, and I really like them. But you get a little bit more of a detail. So if your ramp truck has raised white letter tires, instead of slapping a decal on it, these have it. You just got to paint the white. Take a gel pen and go over them. A little brush with white paint, whatever. I got that tire on backwards. Yep. A nice set of dualies for that. And the other set is fantastic. I haven't quite pinpointed. I got an idea for that one, but I have not pinpointed it. I primarily, everything Ryan sends me, I try to incorporate it into something I'm doing. That way it's not just stockpiling a bunch of stuff that I may never use. I will use all of it. Or some of it's set aside for the giveaway. But, it is what it is. Now, these, he didn't say who's going to be selling these. So, again, I don't know. I would contact him for the information. But these are the Race Star. I think that's the name of them. Yeah, Race Star 92s. 20 by 7 and 20 by 12. 1/25th scale. Street tires. Street tires meaning that the tires actually on them are for the street. Trying to focus on everything else but what I want it to. There we go. A little bit better. The detail on the wheel, 100% accurate. Minus the valve stem. We all know how to add those, what to use, and there's aftermarket ones you can buy. ProTech makes them. That's usually where I get mine from if I want that detail on there. but you know, just 100% accurate. Beautiful wheel. Great for a hot rod. You know, just be, say if you had a bone stock 69 Camaro, you want nice tires and wheels on it. Perfect. You know, even if you're building a stock build and you're not doing anything fancy to it, just clean paint job, clean build, but you do want a different set of tires and wheels on it. More modern. There you go. Those would look killer on a Camaro, Nova, what, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's going to look good on it. Even a 32, 34, 37, don't matter. Then here's the kicker. Now he's never sent these to us before, so I'm kind of glad he did. But these are Race Star 92s also, 18x7 and 18x12s. These are 1/25th scale. You know, a hair smaller. But these are the drag tires. Where's the other front tire at? Here it is. But your front tires will be the same as the street tires. Just normal, you know, normal tread pattern that he uses. There we go. Ooh, the magic there. Nope. Come on, you stupid camera. He doesn't change tread pattern much. I mean, you guys are well aware of him. But the crazy... Where'd it go? There it is. Drag slick. Nice tread design. Nice look. They're wide. Still great for that Camaro. You know, it's a weekend runner down at the racetrack. You're running the stock engine, you know, but it's you know, a high horsepower engine and all that happy stuff. Another great set of tires and wheels to put on a build, and not go crazy on the modifications. Just maybe a little sticking out of the wheel wells, lift it up a little bit in the back to clear them. Perfect. Good looking tires and wheels. And then he sent these two. So you guys are aware of the new release, 66 or 67 Chevelle. Same as 65, the style wheel that was on them. My 65 has these wheels in the kit. I mean, they're the kit wheels. They're not as wide or anything like that, but just a good looking tire and wheel. The emblems in there, the bow tie and the center cap. You know, all that would be chromed and then blacked out in the center. You know, and then you can get radical with the color choices to match your paint job or whatever. And then the front tires, same way. They are two-piece wheels. You know, it's got the ring, so it's easy to chrome. Set aside, let it dry. Chrome this, let it dry, and get in there and paint out your detail. You know, then slowly glue it all together. Wide, probably a little modification. Little opening up the wheel wells, probably, to get these to fit inside the wheel well. But that's not a hard thing to do. A lot of people are like, stay away from all that. I'm not really, guys, it's not that hard. And the best thing about it is people say, well, you know, I have no room for error and I've only got one kit. Well, something like that, one kit is okay, because the worst case scenario is you open it up too much. Then you build your new wheel wells, put it in, covers it all right back up. So it's not a big deal. But it's very, very easy. And one day we will touch base closer. I'll do a video on how I open up my wheel wells to adapt to, you know, the bigger tires. These are great. These are probably going on the 65. Because I had a resto mod idea in mind for that anyways. And these are going to be perfect to fit on that. But you guys get out. You know, these on the Nova, Chevelle, Camaro even. These will look awesome. You know, sky's the limit. Just get over there and, you know, show them some love and pick you up a set or two, whatever you can afford to do. And even if it's for a build down the road. Because, you know, he only runs these things so long, and then he discontinues them. Same way with Joel. Here's another thing that will be coming to Joel at Iceman Collections. These are lady caps. If you guys are following him on Instagram, you've seen this stuff floating around on Instagram already. But, dude, I'm telling you what. I'm not a lowrider guy, but I can appreciate this to the fullest. The detail that is in this wheel is phenomenal. And I've already tested these. These do fit in kit tires. So there's no need to worry. That's why they don't come with tires, because you would use your whatever tire you would want to use for your lowrider build or your custom build. And you want that touch of detail that you really have not seen. Pow. Right there. I want it to focus, but it won't. I've tried to make this video once already, guys, and get up here and on this detail. Maybe let's try to turn the camera around and see if that'll help. Still not wanting to focus. Let a little light in. There we go. You can see all those little fins all the way around the inner circle. And then there's lines all, you can kind of see it when I put my finger there, you know, underneath the body, all up and down. I mean, you got those chromed, or even gold anodized, or brass, whatever polish, and then you hit that with some panel line washer, that's all going to come alive. The three-dimensional shape of the girl, all the detail behind it and around it, and it's all going to pop. It's going to be truly outstanding. And this makes, you know, my juices flow of what can I do with these. And I do have something in mind. I'm not a bit, like I said, I'm not a big lowrider guy. I appreciate those guys 100%. And we're going to touch base on them here real quick. Time flies. Mail call. He sent me two, but still deserves recognition. Mr. Terry Thacker of Hobby Barn. There's his email. You guys want to do some trading with him on shop cards, hit him up. Again, thank you for the kind words. You did send me two. Maybe I sent you two, and that's why you sent me two. I don't know, Terry, but I appreciate the second one. I'm going to put them both up. Shop cards are shop cards, you know. They're awesome. And on the Mania shop cards, I have shop cards. I'm going to bring some with me to Acme. But if you're not going to Acme or anything like that and you want one, just hit me up. My email is always down below in the descriptions. That's where the comments are. You'll find the link to Hobby Nut Models. Go check Mark out. He's always got great stuff. Pick you up a little something. You know, and so on and so forth. The Charger is coming along swimmingly. No, the Charger's coming along great. Like I said, I built this kit several times, so I am well aware of all of its issues. This one was the worst out of all of them that I've built. But I've got probably about 80% of them corrected. And a lot of them are really little, so it's not a big deal. I'm making messes here somehow. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, like say if you built 15 of the 55 Chevys, by then you pretty much know every little issue that kit has. Even whether it's they've corrected it some or they didn't fool with it at all. You know, whatever. But you know by then what's got problems and what doesn't. So I spilled some mineral spirits. It's not hurting nothing, just want to clean it up before it gets to other things. And then I just spilled more. What in the hell is the problem here? Alright. So, now we got this taken care of primarily. And believe it or not, guys, mineral spirits is good after you've worked on stuff. You can clean up your parts. Just make sure you wash it in soap and water after you're done with it. Get all of the excess residue off of it. because it has somewhat of a, I think, an oily film to it. And if you just said, well, it's going to evaporate, no, it's not. It's going to linger around for a while, and then it's going to leave a residue, and you'll want to wash that off. But with the charger, like I said, that's one of those things. You just know from you built it so many times, you know what to look for. And I thought did a lot of thinking ahead. So we're on track. We got a lot done with it. And you look at it, it doesn't look like I got anything done, but you know I did. And we're still in the primary of figuring things out, adapting those ideas, and seeing if we can make them work. And I'm pretty much at the end of that. Now it's just final, putty, sand, sand, final sand, prime type thing to get it ready to go into the paint. We've got the engine, mocked up. Well, it's not mocked up. It's together. The whole engine's black, so I don't have to worry about picking out all the different colors and variations. The fuel tubes or fuel rails, they're black. Intake's black. Everything's black on this engine. It's just the way they did it, so that's the way I'm going to do it. And I just got it in the primer stage to see if there was any little pinholes. Sometimes there is in 3D resin. You'll find a little hole or a defect or something. So that's why I did it white, so it bounces up and I can see it better. The final primer color will probably be black, and then I'll hit it with, just a standard black, matte black. But that's coming along. We'll get into that a lot on Friday. We'll keep that our primary thing, what's on the bench. The Volkswagen, I will finish that up one day this week. It'll be all done. It's going to go in the display case. And then I'm still working. If any of you guys know, you go to model shows, you see all that stuff printed out. I've got documentation from the Diora of a new style getting ready to come out. Well, may never come back out, but it's a concept. Old information, a new picture of it, all that to take with me to set around the model. And then each one of these gets a build sheet, and that's all the information about that build on there. And I lay that next to the model. I don't fill out their little card. I just put my name on there and set that, with the build, and then my own type out information sheet. So, you come look at one of the models, you can read and you'll see, what parts I use, what brand, company, blah, blah. All the way from paint down to aftermarket parts. And my build hours, how long it took me to build it. I include that on there. So, enough about that. We did the mail call. The product review was amazing. These are great looking wheels. I can't wait to... I've got a 69 Chevelle up there. I've been bouncing around what kind of tires and wheels I want to use. Do I want to use, I've got several of them, so it's... Do I want to do a Pro Touring, or I just want to do a classic hot rod? And the classic hot rod's been pinging back to me the most, so chances are it's where these are going to go. I got a little bit of my lunch on one of them. They get washed anyways. But, so we thank you, Ryan Jones, for sending those to the channel. Everybody getting a chance to look at them. If anybody wants to see a little bit more in depth, just let me know. I'll be glad to get them back out and show them to you. Again, these Icemans collections, the dualies, the lady caps, Icemans. Go show Joel some love. Pick you up a set. These would be cool even in a diorama, like on a classic set of white walls, just sitting there in a diorama or something. This would be cool for that too. And they do fit your kit tires, so you shouldn't have any issues there. And then everything else from right now, I can see these race slicks with the race stars in them. They may be through VCG resins. He's the one that primarily carries those, if I'm right. But if not, it'd be Ryan. So contact Ryan, ask him, he'll let you know. So we got the mail call out of the way, got that out of the way, touch base a little bit on the charger. We're right at 30 minutes. I'm trying to make this faster and faster. So we're going to make this quick. Mental Monday. Arrogance. I did look into it. There is enough meat and potatoes there to make some stuff warranted. So, caution. I want you guys to know this. I don't want anybody to take any kind of offense or perceive this in the wrong way. I'm going to name off a couple people. My opinion only. It's not general consensus, but it's my opinion. And I'm going to explain my opinion on them. So, and I only got time to do a couple. So, I'm sorry, you guys, you're the two that's getting pointed out in this. Well, we can make it 3, but we'll make it quick. Number 1, does arrogance equal being, for lack of better terms, an asshole? Yes, it can be. There's a lot of arrogant people, no matter what it is in the world. And some tend to be assholes about it. I don't care for them at all. There's no place for it. Okay, you know your stuff. Kudos. I'm coming to you to learn from you because you do know, what it is, what it takes, and so on and so forth. I don't want the attitude. I don't want the, well, you should have known. No, that's the asshole part of arrogance. I don't care for that. Arrogance, to me, and here's the number 1 person. I'm not bashing this guy at all. He's one of my, if you're going to consider idols or you look tos or whatever, is Don Yost. And I'll defend him to the end of the earth. Again, my opinion. Mr. Yost it doesn't mean he's perfected it, but, in a way he has. He is the enamel king. He has, through trials and tribulations, figured out what works, what doesn't work. What's the best to use? What's the best airbrush? What's the best PSI? Everything that goes into him starting a paint job to the finish of the paint job, he has gone through it thousands of times. He knows what works, what doesn't work. Does he come off arrogant about it? Well, yeah, he does, because he has put in the time. He deserves to be. I hear other guys just bash him all the time. I'm like, dude, what's wrong? Just because you don't watch him. You don't like him, that doesn't... Personal opinion, he's a better model builder than you are. So what ground do you got to stand on? But I get it. People perceive somebody a certain way, like, well, no, look past that. He's brought a wealth of knowledge to you for free via YouTube. Now, he does have DVDs out there he sells, but that helps compensate what it costs him to produce his videos and DVDs and everything else, and his Patreons and all that. That's fine. Don Yost, the model builder. He's an amazing model builder. He can build box stock. He can build full detail. He knows what the judges look for at a show. So he knows what to do to win. He knows what not to do to get dinged at a show. He knows all that. And he shares that with you on there, on his channel. And for people to sit back and go, he's an arrogant asshole. Well, no, you're right and you're wrong. Is he arrogant? Yes. But he has the right to be arrogant because he has done the math. He has done the work. He has laid down the tracks for you, and me through his trials and tribulations, and he knows what works the best. And he always tells you, in my opinion, this is just me. This is my method. It doesn't mean it's going to work for you. He's not saying, shadow of a doubt, 100%, you do it my way, you're going to have perfect results every single time. No, he tells you if you do it his way and you master that, you're going to have a better finished model than what you would have had before. That's the arrogance and positivity. Because it's true. He's done it so many freaking times, he knows it works. Other people have done it his way thousands of times, and it works. Proof is in the pudding. You hear that saying. The proof is in the pudding. Is he arrogant? Yes, he is. So what? Is he an asshole? Maybe. I don't know. I don't care. I like the guy for what he does. I aspire to be a better builder because of him. Another one. This could be put on the fence. Again, there is no offense in this. I'm not bashing anybody. But I feel they have the right to be that way. And that's Matthew, Lucas C. Well, he's not arrogant. Well, no, really, he's not. He's a nice guy, down to earth. He's got a past like anybody else. We'll leave that there. But he's an innovator. Same way Mark Batson. I mean, I'm going to start rattling off names now. These guys are innovators. They've laid the groundwork, the pipe work. They've done all the work. They figured out, for what they were trying to achieve, they have figured out what works the best. What tool to use for this that works the best. What paintbrush, what airbrush, what PSI, whatever. The knowledge from knowing NASCAR inside and out. Same way Lucas C. They know the NASCAR, so they know what the car had. The real car. And if you're going to build a replica of that, this is what you need. It's good arrogance because they've done it all. They know they're going to argue with you to the end of the day. That, no, this should have had this piece here. It was right here. It was at a 30-degree angle. Whatever it is. They know because they did the work. They know it was there because the real car had it. They've got enough pictures to back up what they say. They have enough knowledge from reading and investigating and whatever you want to call it. They know for a fact it's that way. They've talked to the builders of the car, so they know. So you, as somebody saying, well, no, that's not what, you're wrong. You should flip it and say, well, what did they use? What kind of material did they use? Do you got pictures of that? That's information that's beneficial to you. Don't just say somebody's arrogant and arrogance leads to being an asshole, because it's not true. Arrogance comes from you knowing. You're 100% confident in what you're saying, what you're doing. That's where arrogance comes from. These gentlemen should be arrogant. And you should learn from them. You should listen to them. If you can prove them wrong, then okay. But, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to. And I give that 1% just because of maybe, Lucas C. was misinformed on something, or he thought, and he was wrong. So everybody can be wrong. To be human is to err. So, arrogance is like right there with the purists. Purists are arrogant. They're arrogant as but they know their shit. Don't bash talk them because they know it. Just because you think you do and you're wrong? No. These people laid the pipe work and the groundwork for you to follow in their footsteps and pick up all those little pieces of knowledge and put them to use. That's true in life, too. It's not just modeling. But I'm sick and tired of hearing Mr. Yost bashed time and time again. I spent all this money on his DVDs, and this shit don't work. Well, because you did it wrong. Plain and simple. I'm nobody. I've told you guys, even though a lot of people don't think I am a simple model builder. I'm average. I built Shelf Queens. It took a minute for me to realize, and I can do better than Shelf Queen. I can do Show Queen, but average. Just average. My daily stuff that I put out. I'm an average model builder. I watched that man's videos. I didn't buy his DVD. I just watched the videos. And I went out and bought some testers, little square bottle paints. I bought the primer he was talking about. I happened to have one of the airbrushes that he uses, so it was no big deal. I set my PSI to that. I mixed it the way he said exactly to mix it. I used the method that he used to paint it. And you know what? That's that lime green Charger that I showed you guys. And that paint job on that thing is one of the closest to perfect I've ever had. And the only flaws in it is because of me. I got carried away and got ahead of myself. It ain't due to Don Yost, his methods, or anything else. I don't think the man should be put on this golden pedestal. Because at the end of the day, he's not any better than me or anybody else. He can do better work than me on model cars, but he's older than me. He's been around longer. He's devoted more of his life to it than what I have. So, can he be arrogant? Fuck yeah, he can be arrogant. All day long. Does that mean I'm going to go buy his DVDs? No, I'm not going to go buy his DVDs. I'm going to watch him on YouTube. I'm going to give him the thumbs up. I'm going to leave a comment whenever I can. I'm going to support him in that way. I'm going to spread the word of the love about the gentleman to everybody I know, whether they like him or not. Because I do. If I went up to a model show, I'd walk up and shake the man's hand and tell him thank you. Plain and simple. Short and sweet. Thank you. Thank you for all you've done. And walk away. If I didn't like the man, I hated his guts for no apparent reasons, I wouldn't talk to him. I just wouldn't go up to him. It's what you do if you don't like somebody. You don't sit there and stew and ferment on the dislikes that you have for the person, and eventually, well, you're going to mouth off to him. Well, you're just as bad as, everybody else. But these guys, Matthew, he knows his stuff because he takes the time to research. That's the word, research. The knowledge he has is because he's devoted his time to research. And it's from factual, not just what somebody, hearsay. He gets the facts. Being a NASCAR fan is one thing. But being an aficionado, you know your stuff. You know your craft. You've worked in real life out in the industry, whether it be painting, mechanical, custom, whatever it is. That's knowledge. If you're a race car builder, you know how to build race cars. And if your race cars are winning, whatever, how many races a year, you're doing something right. And who is anybody to say you're wrong? That's another level of arrogance. That's the negative arrogance. Just learn how to accept things for face value. Is Don Yost a better painter than most of us? Well, yeah, probably is. Have I ever seen his work in person? Yeah, one time. It wasn't. I think it was somebody that had something painted from him, and I saw the paint job. It absolutely beautiful. Spotless, no flaws in it. Foiled perfectly. Everything perfect. Well paid for. I paid him to do it, to get a perfect paint job myself. Does he make mistakes? Yes, he does. But he knows what it takes to correct it, so it doesn't happen again. And those arrogant people are a godsend to us. Same way the purists, they're a godsend to us because they're a wealth of knowledge. They're just in a different time frame of everything. Purists are everything to do with an original car, the way it should be. Every little nut and bolt and piece of paper that's in the car, but they know all that. That's a wealth of knowledge if you're trying to build something that accurate. Arrogance, it's knowing that those guys have got those methods and those styles of doing it because it's worked for 20 plus years. And they can tell you, whoa, watch out for this because this is going to pop up and this is going to be bad. So you can take these steps beforehand and avoid this. That's fantastic. I had to learn for the 4th or 5th time I've built this freaking thing. That now it's got a huge bunch of issues right here. It's got a massive amount of issues back here. The kit half the time is warped. The chassis is warped the other way. But I've had to learn that through my own trials and tribulations. Does that make me arrogant now? No. It makes me aware, self-aware. But Don Yost had done it, and I'm sure he has. If I had the distance to just sit down and listen to the man, he could have probably told me before I even started my first one, hey, you're going to be aware. This is what you're going to fight. This kit's crap, and free knowledge. So arrogance does play a part. Negative arrogance, no. Positive arrogance, yes. You deserve that right. I mean, for God's sakes, if you were the guy that invented the sun, look what I did. I created the sun. Are you arrogant? Yes, you are arrogant, but ain't nobody else created one. Therefore, it gives you the right to be arrogant. So, just my craziness. You guys leave your comments down below. I want to see. I want you to blow up my comments. I want to see it like no other video I've put out. I want to see the comments just go through the roof. I want to hear from everybody and anybody. Even if you're on the outside looking into this hobby and you have your own, I want to know. I want to hear it. Leave your thumbs up, thumbs down. Leave your comments. Drop me a sub. If you really want to go in depth and detail on this, if there's something I offended you by what I just said, you know, email's down there. Hit it. Type me a novel. I'm curious because these three gentlemen I just mentioned, they're some of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. But are they arrogant to a degree? Yeah, they are arrogant to a degree. That's because they know their stuff. And they get to hold a little bit of that. So think about that next time. Don't just assume that they're an asshole or they're just somebody you wouldn't like or, oh, they're full of crap and no, my method, no, well, maybe your method is better for you. But don't ding these guys or badmouth them or anything else because of what they do. They're doing it for the love of the hobby, just like you and me. At the end of the day, it's for the love of the hobby. If they're getting paid for it, that's a bonus. I mean, this hobby has got so many tiers in it. So many different genres and so many different tiers and levels and authenticities and synchronicities and all this other stuff that a lot of people just hone in on that one little thing. And it just spreads negativity everywhere. You know, Don Yost, he's not a god. He's not the best model builder out there. I'm not saying that. Do I think he's one of the best? One of the best painters, yes. Truthfully, some of the best painters are the Lowrider guys. That genre. They're true artists. What they do with a freaking tiny ass little model car, all those overlays, different colors, different textures and patterns, and all in a little model car? Are you kidding me? Arrogance? Yes, to the fullest. Not assholes. They'll sit down with you over a beer and a meal and discuss with you and show you how they do it. Free. Balling on a budget. Am I going to look down and shove my nose to them because they're arrogant? No. They have a right to be. Same way as I have a right, a God-given right as anybody else to spout this stuff off. I have a right to say that I'm an amateur builder because I am. Do I produce the stuff that's above amateur? Yes, I do. So does everybody else out there. You know, it's not accepting because I don't accept nothing. You know, I strive to do better. That doesn't make me arrogant. Arrogance is if I, as the one that designed this method, I'm the one that through years and years of trial and error have figured out that I don't make those errors anymore. And I've tweaked this and tweaked that, and I did this and I did that. And now I'm getting great results every single time. You have a right to be arrogant. And everybody else should come in and just follow in your footsteps and give it a try. And if it works for them, great. If it doesn't, then it's not for you. Maybe you can't craft it. You got to find a different way. You got to find what does work for you. I'm not saying he's a god, guys, that y'all need to go do it his way. No, his method is great for a certain type. When I shoot enamels, I use the Don Yost method to shooting enamel paints. I don't care if I'm using MCW, if I'm using testers, I haven't really used a lot of others. But, or Tamiya, I don't even know if they make enamels. I know they make acrylics and lacquers, but anyways, off subject. If I'm using an enamel paint, I'm using his method. Because you know why? It works. It works for me. I'm not saying it's going to work for you. But you got to try it. And do it exactly how he does it. Or tells you how to do it. You know? That's how you learn. And if you can't get it, it's just not, that's fine. It's not the end of the day. But just don't spout off, oh, he's an asshole. He doesn't know what he's talking about. It didn't work with a crap. No, it's because you didn't figure it out. Because, if 800 people say that it works and it works perfect if you follow his steps, and 200 people say, 200 people are wrong. Majority wins. Majority rules. So, We're at an hour again. Take 2 went just as long. Sorry, but we're going to leave it here. I want to thank you, all your subs, past, present, any future ones I get. You guys hit that bell notification. You'll know when the videos come out. They're still only on Mondays and Fridays. This Friday will be a short one, I promise. We're just going to go over the charger and where I'm at and what I'm doing. That's primarily it. And as things settle down, we get the shop straightened out and start going at it again. We'll pop back up on a Wednesday from time to time. And as always, guys, you know, Mark Hobby Nut Models, Ryan Jones, Z-Force Model Works. Go show those guys some love. They're the ones bringing these great products to us. Mark's bringing great kits, tools, everything, you know, to this hobby. They all deserve some love. I'm not asking you to spend a fortune. You spend what you can afford. Don't ever overspend any time for anything. But if you need something, go check out Mark's Hobby Nut Model. If you're looking for a set of wheels, you're like, none of these kit wheels have all my stuff I have in the stash is just not, nah. I need that one set. Ryan Jones. You're not going to be sorry. So, I love you guys. I appreciate everything. This was a little bit of a rant, but it's something I'm passionate about. Like I said, don't take offense to it. Don't think that I am negatively bashing these gentlemen, because I'm not. They are idols to me because of what they do. And it aggravates me when I hear other people bash them. Now, if it's something I know to be true, then I can't say much about it. You just say, well, yeah, but he does this now, and he's whatever. It is what it is, and I can't wait today to meet Lucas C. Meet Mr. Yost, and the only words I got is to shake their hand and say thank you for what you do. Same way with Mr. Batson. I'm sure I'll probably see Mark down at Acme. He's going to get a handshake from me, maybe a hug, and a thank you. Because I learn from them all the time. And that is arrogant, if you want to call it that. It's great. They're great teachers. Whatever it is. You know? So, it's all on how you perceive it. But I've heard people complain, well, he's arrogant, using that word. Well, I'm using arrogance as a positive term. So, I'm not saying that the gentleman's arrogant. But if he is, he has a right to be. I do know what the definition of arrogance is. So, there's that. You guys ponder on that. We'll see you Friday. Be here or be square. This is Rosie Roeder. I'm out.